Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Guitars, Gear, and God. Today we're going to be looking at our new mixer that we just got for our sound room, and it is the Yamaha Mg10Xuf. Super cool little mixer, has all sorts of bells and whistles, a lot of fun little features. So we're going to take you through that and see what you think. I'm going to show you how I have it hooked up and how I'm using it, and hopefully this will help you out. All right, so here it is. This is our new Yamaha mixer. As you can see, it's loaded with a lot of cool features, and let's see if we can break those down for you. So starting off, let's turn the power on, and you'll actually locate the power on the back side of it over here. Kind of hard to see through this, but there's a little switch right here. Powers it up right there. Also on the back side, there is a cable coming out, I'll just make note of, and that comes out here and goes into the computer. So you'll see the interface here. It is a USB mixer, so you can plug that right in there should you choose to. Now, a couple other things on this. So as we start to work our way down, this is a 10-channel mixer, and you'll see all of the different channels coming across the top up here. A lot of different inputs that you can plug into this. Starting off, let's just take a look at this first row here. As we come right down this first row, what I have plugged into here is an XLR cable, and this is for my microphone. Right now I'm not on the microphone because I don't have it all set up, but this one is actually running a line straight to my microphone. And you'll notice on here there's a couple choices. You see this where it says mic, and then kind of hard to read there, but you'll see where it says pad and then 26 dB. I haven't really experimented with this too much, but my understanding is if you're going to be running a direct line, something like an instrument like a keyboard, maybe a synthesizer, something like that, what a lot of people will do, I believe, is they will push this so that it has that pad and it takes away some of that input level that's coming in. If that's not correct, I'm sure somebody will correct me on that in the comments, and I don't mind at all because that will help me learn what some of this stuff is for. As you move your way down that first channel, you're going to see this whole row right here is all dedicated to that first channel. So all of the knobs right here in this first section are all for that microphone channel. And what these are, as you come down, you're going to see the first one right here is actually a gain knob. And it's just a simple knob that you can turn and it'll adjust the gain on that. And while you're adjusting that gain, you're going to see over here to the side, there is a line level. So you're going to be able to see if you're getting the right amount of volume. Now, if I were talking into my microphone, here I'll grab it real quick, and you can see right here as I talk into this microphone that it's recognizing my voice. And if I adjust some of the gain on that, I'll turn it up here for you, and we can take a look. If I adjust the gain, it starts to come up. Pretty soon I end up in that red zone. Well, if I were recording with that microphone, it would start to clip and it would sound horrible. So I'm going to back that back off a little bit. And generally, you want to keep it about halfway up. So right here, about on that 0 mark, is where you want it. And I like to play with it a little bit, speak a little bit louder into the microphone, and then just pull it off just a little bit below that. And you can edit some of that in the mixer when you're all done if you want, but or in the software, I should say. But it's just easier to get it set up right so that your voice sounds correct. Now, as you continue to come down the row, this next set of knobs here is a compressor, which is great for doing instrument recording as well as different types of vocal recording that you're doing. So if you're needing a compressor, this is a great option for you. So you can adjust that as you go. I'm not going to do it for you with my voice right now, but it's a simple knob to adjust the, kind of takes out some of the highs and the lows and evens out what it is that you're conveying through the instrument or through your microphone. Now, right now, I do not have a microphone that needs or requires power, but if you were using like a condenser microphone that requires phantom power, you can see this red button right here is a phantom power, and I would just turn that on, and that would get power to those microphones. As I continue to come down this first row again, this middle section here, this is your EQ section. That's what all of those green knobs are for. And if I zoom in a little bit here, you're going to see we've got a high frequencies, your mid frequencies and your low frequencies. Just runs just like any other 3-band equalizer. You can adjust those frequencies from -15 to +15, so you can mess around with those. The next one coming down is this white one right here, and this is our effects signal. So the effects signal, this particular mixer, it actually has 24 built-in effects. So if we go over here on this side of the board again, you're going to see that we've got 24 built-in effects that are on this mixer, and chorus, reverb, hall, tremolo, all sorts of different effects. We'll probably do a whole nother video just on the effects of this thing, but they're actually quite cool. Some of the things you can do to your voice and instruments and whatnot. So the effects, this one back over here, this controls how much of that effect is going into that signal. Okay, so if you want more of that effect or less of that effect, that's how you'll alter that. And then lastly, you have the pan, and this is just changing it from right to left for stereo. So you'll see the bright orange knob, or the bright orange button. It lets you know that it's on. This is what it looks like when it's off. This is what it looks like when it's on. Very easy to see which channels you have on. So, if you're only running one channel, pretty easy to tell, but if I've got multiple things going on, if I'm playing instruments, different things that are all plugged in, it's kind of nice to be able to have a good visual as to what I'm using. Lastly, one of the things I really like on this part of the board on the bottom here is these faders. Now, there are a number of different versions of these boards. Some of them just have knobs very similar to these on the bottom. I like the faders because they give it a little bit more control. I like the way they look. I like the way they operate. So that's kind of cool, and you can adjust those up and down, again, depending on how much of that you want as far as input or output, I guess. Let's see, as we move across, the next channel on here, we don't need to go through all of this again, but this one right here is actually running across my room, and it actually is running, it's an instrument XLR, and I've got it running to a Sennheiser microphone that is actually mic'd up to my speaker cab. So we'll do a segment on that later, but I'll show you what that looks like. It's right over there. It's on my Fender amp, and you'll see that microphone is right there. So we'll talk more about that later as we go, but that is this channel right here. And those same effects knobs, everything is the same. You've got your gain, you've got your compression, EQs, effects, all the way down, all the same knobs. Now, as we continue to move across the next section over here, we've got these two cables, the quarter jack cables. These are actually coming out of here, and they are going straight into my keyboard. So they're direct lines that are going into a right channel and a left channel, and these are going straight from my keyboard into here. Now, I haven't messed around with it too much, but the guy at Guitar Center that sold me this, he actually did sell me a DI box, and he said that I'm actually going to want to run those two cables right here, these cables, rather than running them straight in my board. What he suggested is running these into a DI box. So I actually picked up just a cheap DI box, you can see here, and coming in one side would run those 1/4-inch cables, and coming out the other side would be an XLR. So if I decide to go that route, and he said it just gives me a little more control of the sound, then obviously I would run the XLR into one of these over here. But for now, I've got it going directly in. And then the next set of jacks coming out right next to it is going to be these RCA cables. Now these RCAs, I really like this. This is kind of cool. So I have these coming down right here, and those end up right here. And this is just a jack that will run right into your iPhone, your iPod, your any music, your iPad, whatever. So if I want to play music in the background, and maybe I'm recording, or I want to hear a song, or I'm singing with something, whatever it might be, I can just simply plug my phone right into that, and the music will play right through whatever speakers or monitors or into your computer. However, you can even have it headphoned jacked, and you can hear it coming straight through your headphones. So that's really cool. With these coming straight down the line, again, you have some of the same features. The only thing you don't have over here is the gain and compression. but you still have all of the other same controls. And with this, you also have, let's see, what was I going to show you on here? Okay, coming out of this one with the RCAs, I run this one straight through here. I can run this into my phone, and then I can also control the volume on this if I want to. If I just want like a little bit of background music, or if I want, you know, depending on what I'm trying to run through here, there's some different ways that you can use that, but that's how I use it currently today. Moving across, as you keep going, there's a number of other jacks that you can put in. Kind of hard to see up top here, but there's this one up here is actually a foot switch. If you wanted to buy a sold separate foot switch, you can certainly do that. You've got an opportunity to run a couple different speakers out of here, and then if you're running either speakers or monitors that hook up with an XLR, you can run those out of there. A lot of flexibility, a lot of different things that you can choose to do with this. And then let's just talk just for a second about the effects side of this board. So as you can see, if I zoom in here a little bit, you've got the effects side of this board, and what this is I can change the channel. There's like I said, there's 24 different effects. Real easy. This knob right here and this number correlates to the effects here. So if I just turn this to whatever number I want, once I get it on the number I want, I just simply push it down and it locks that in on channel 4. So channel 4 in this case is Reverb Room 2. So that's what effect I'm going to get. And then this parameter knob is going to allow me to add to that, max that out, or less. Basically, it's giving me more of the effect or less of the effect, depending on how much of that I want. And then down here, you're going to see I've got a stereo mute button that I can use, and this one will adjust for the headphones. So if I'm playing those, if I've got headphones, like right now, I've got this jack, and in my case, I actually have a 1/4-inch jack that's here, but it's just plugged into that little guy, so which is kind of nice. So I plug my headphones in, plug that right back in the headphone jack there, and then I can control that here, and then I've got 2 more controls here that are running my first couple channels, and then sort of a master right here. So that is pretty much in its entirety the Yamaha Mg10Xuf board and everything that it does. It has a lot of cool features, and hopefully you'll enjoy this board, and I'm just getting to use it, and I'll do some other videos on some of those other functions. Maybe we'll walk through all of the different effects and everything on this board. But hopefully you enjoyed this. I would sure appreciate it if you liked it. If you wouldn't mind liking this and maybe subscribing to my channel, I would really appreciate it. God bless and have a great day.